Glacier National Park in far northern Montana is an epic spectacle carved by ancient sheets of towering ice. While there is tremendous beauty to be experienced along the main road in the park, to truly experience the majesty of a glacier, you need to hike its trails. In this video, I take you along with me on a section of the Gunsight Pass Trail, ending at the incredible Gunsight Lake. To reach the trailhead towards Gunsight Lake, drive 4.8 miles east of Logan Pass and park at the parking area on the right. So I'm basically going towards Gunsight Pass, which is a trailhead a little bit east of the Logan Pass area. Apparently it goes past some beautiful glaciers out to a lake. Lots of really interesting stuff up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started and come join me on some of the beautiful Glacier National Park on the Gunsight Pass Trail. The initial 1.2 miles follows the Continental Divide Trail downhill through regenerating forest. Well, if ever you wanted evidence that this is bear country, that's a solid way to see it. Bears will often rub themselves against trees. It's kind of a sign-in post to say, you know, this bear was here. They'll deposit their scent on it, leave their scent for other bears so they can know kind of who is in the area and all this stuff. And as part of their marking behavior, they'll often scratch down the surfaces of trees. And that is a pretty classic example of the bear claw mark. Well, I have no idea what that is. I'm gonna assume that they're like a bunch of spores or something. I guess it's just like little bits of what looks like smoke rising out of the plants. As the trail starts to flatten, openings in the canopy reveal a towering Going to the Sun mountain behind you. .2 miles in, you'll find a suspension bridge over Reynolds Creek made of boards with signs of wearing. They seemed largely intact, but it still helps to step cautiously. Soon after, the forest starts to open, and you're gifted with epic mountain vistas above the beautiful yellows of the valley below. So I generally try to spare you all the sound just because it can get really annoying if you're having to listen to it and it's not saving your life. But just like in Yellowstone, Glacier is grizzly bear country, and grizzly bears are an animal that you really don't want to surprise. So while I'm walking down a trail like this, especially around blind corners and places where you or the bear can't necessarily see, I'll often yell, "Coming through!" like that. And basically, I'll just, especially in kind of thicker vegetated places, I'll just keep yelling that until I'm pretty sure things are safe, and just kind of yell it periodically, because the last thing you want to do is surprise a grizzly bear, because they'll move very quickly. And unlike black bears, which their immediate response is usually just to run off, grizzly bears are a lot more likely to charge you or try to nullify the threat, which often involves knocking you down with giant claws and potentially biting into you a bit. So it's something you want to avoid for sure. I also carry bear spray with me all the time in bear country. I have yet to need to use it, but it's always possible, and the one time you do, you really are glad you have it. So that's kind of my recommendation if you're going to be hiking around in grizzly country, is make lots of sounds and carry bear spray. And the sounds are just really important. You may feel silly, but it really does help out a great deal and can potentially save your life. Eventually, the trail runs alongside the sinuous St. Mary River, which even when out of sight adds a special sort of beauty with the sounds of its waters. opening to the sun and the river visible, I found a fallen log to rest on and enjoy the wonders Glacier offers. Good spot for a break. The landscape progressively opens, and you are gifted astonishing views of the mountains and valleys carved by vast ancient glaciers. Glacier is just impossibly gorgeous. I can't even tell you how beautiful this place is. And well off the road, very, very few people in just some beautiful wild country. Glacier National Park is a place with wonder and memory. More than in most places, you can sense the presence of the giant ice walls that carved its valleys and provided the water for its lakes. You can find one such lake at the end of the section of trail, Gunsight Lake, surrounded by the towering Mount Jackson and Gunsight Mountain. When I'm in eastern Montana, I'll often talk about subtle beauty that are just these small scale scenes that, when seen in the right eye, have staggering visual qualities to them. Glacier National Park is just about the most extreme opposite example of that kind of beauty that I can think of, where the beauty is just grandiose, and it's unapologetically grandiose. It's just epic in just every sense of the word. So when you head up this trail, or if you decide to head up this trail, I recommend spending half an hour or more just staring at all these amazing features, looking at the old remains of glaciers that have now largely receded. The glaciers are still present, but in very, very diminished form. And the reality is that eventually Glacier National Park will not host any more of its glaciers. So I'm grateful to see them while they're still here, but just what an unbelievably beautiful place. As you walk the trails of Glacier National Park, listen to the whispers of the ancient history that created the beauty around you and wander its trails in wonder.